Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, I'm going to be talking about how to make a profit in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you guys would like me to do some more just discussion videos about this, I can do a couple videos here and there. So if you do like to see this as a series to some degree, please leave a thumbs up down below and thumbs up the video so I guys know you enjoy this video and I will make more of them. So, how to make money in Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, first off, I always say this anytime I talk about money in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not something to invest in. It's very hard to turn a profit in Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless you are a vendor and you do this for a living. Then you know you have contacts, you get around a lot, you can sell a product and turn over a quick profit very quickly. Unless you're a vendor, it's very hard. But for the average guy that wants to just make money in Yu-Gi-Oh!, there is a way of doing it. And I always tell people that do not invest in the main core sets nowadays. Never invest in core sets anymore. You want to invest in old school product. That, my friends, is where the money lies in Yu-Gi-Oh! The modern sets that we get nowadays, for the most part, your core sets, they get reprinted in mass, in echelon, every year in the Megatins. And even if they do not get mass printed in the Megatins, they get reprinted in special editions. Well, you know they're going to get reprinted eventually. Or they're just like, they're $5, $6, $7 cards. Konami usually hits the big money cards. And anything they don't hit in the Megatin is usually either a promo or within that year span, it's going to be a promo again. So within a year and a half, it will be reprinted. The card you have now, for the most part, will be reprinted in some way, shape, or form if it is from a main series set. Most likely it will be. And if it's a chase card, if it's the best card of the set, you better best bet your bottom dollar that card will be in a Megatin or in some special edition or some, like a Battles of Legends set. It will be reprinted. No doubt in my mind. But where the money lies in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is in the nostalgia. Follow me here. The things that sell in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are old, nostalgic cards. 3 words. What am I talking about? It's not even old, but even nostalgic cards that harken back to a certain character, an anime person. The thing I always tell people in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Yu-Gi-Oh! The community is bigger than the card game itself. You have the anime fandom of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which, believe it or not, is ginormous. And then you have the old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Fanboys, which is even more ginormous and huge. You just probably don't know it and have never explored into it, but it is gigantic, even though we never watch the anime anymore. Believe me, people watch it a lot. They may not watch the English version, but they definitely watch the Japanese version because they just love Yu-Gi-Oh! Apparently. So, talking about this at more length, where would you invest in cards? I would say if you're going to invest in any sets in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, invest in the sets where A, things are getting reprinted, so like a Battles of Legends set, where just everything out of it is good. And yes, that set has been opened to death, but you're even starting to see over time things like Psyframe Omega go up in price, even though it was reprinted only less than a year ago. It's always starting to go up in price and creep up. Why? It's a card that everybody will need in the Link format if you're playing a Synchro deck. It's just generically good level 8 Synchro. You're going to start to see things over time, probably within a year or so after Battles of Legend comes out, when it's been a full year, maybe a little bit more, you're going to start to see other cards that are just staple good cards in a set like that. They're just going to start going up in time. I promise you. Probably within a year or two, you're going to see Crystal Wing, because Crystal Wing is just a damn good card. You'll probably see it floating around $8 to $10 eventually. Things like this will happen over time. So good sets like Battles of Legend is the first thing I would say invest in. But for nostalgia purposes, you want to go back to older sets that have nostalgia purposes. Or sets that, like the Duelist sets that we've got, the Joey one. Look at the Joey one we had with Red Eye support recently, within like 5-6 months. Red Eye support. It had Legendary Fisherman, all this stuff. Look at all that Red Eyes support. It's got like the Red Eyes Baby Dragons, like $18 to $20. The Gear Free is like $10. That will go up over time. Bet your bottom dollar. And the Fusion's like $8 to $10. Like, that's some pretty good money. And I bet you within a year or so, because Red Eyes is a what? Nostalgic old archetype. That set will go up over time. Those prints of those cards will go up. There is no doubt in my mind because it's nostalgia. Another perfect example of this. Look from 2 years ago, about 2.5 years ago now, the set that Toon Kingdom came out of. That, what was it called? Dragons of Legend set. Yes. Dragons of Legend. Look at Aya Tamias. Perfect example. Nostalgic card from the anime. All right, 4 words there. But you knew what I'm trying to say. Nostalgia. That's the word you want to keep hearing me. Nostalgia. Anime. Old. Those are the key words here. Aya Tamias, for example. Those, it seems like no matter what print come out, they're always worth a couple bucks. And they always go back up after they've been reprinted. Toon Kingdom didn't get the reprint, and it's very likely that one day Toon Kingdom will get a reprint. Very possible, very likely. But that secret rare from the Dragons of Legend 2, that will always be worth money because A, it's a secret rare. I picked those up when they came out originally for, I think it was $15 a piece. Now they're worth what? They went to 30, they've been on the high 30s, now they're up. They keep going up because why? Limited amount of resources, never been printed, nostalgia, old school card, Pegasus. People just love tunes in general, no matter what, even if it's a bad archetype. They just love it. And because of that reason, up. That's why you see here. That's why I even say old school cards. Like people that invest in like DDS, the old game Blue Eyes White Dragons that are very expensive, like $300 and $400 and $500, and they invest in newer mint ones, those cards will continue to go up because A, highest rarity of Blue Eyes, old school card, and nostalgic because it's Blue Eyes. So that price will just continue to go up over the years because people will buy it because it's an old school card. Old school cards that are nostalgic sell. There's even a market nowadays, if you don't know, for old ghost rares and old ultimate rares and things of that nature. These old school cards that back in the day, we were like, when we used to pull out like Cyber Infinity and we'd be getting like, oh, they made this this rare a hollow. We were like, it's trash, it's junk. There's just a market for that now. I know people, and I'm one of the people that if I go through old school people's commons boxes or binders and I see a couple of the ones, I'm like, oh, I like this. It looks nice. You know, it looks like a nice. It was an old rare like Chthonian like stuff, or just random like Cyber Darks or random this and that. I'm like, oh yeah, these are worth it. I pick them up because even if they're not even worth money, they just look artistically pleasing. And because it's an artistically pleasing card, there's probably somebody else out there that thinks it's nice too, and they're going to want to buy it or pick it up just because. And especially cards that have a tie into the anime, Cyber Darks. Perfect example here. Those cards that are like the highest rarity of Cyber Dark set that came out of Cyber Dark Impact, they're worth buku money because they're playable nowadays, but even still, everybody loves Zane, right, from the anime? So these fanboys pick up the stuff, and what you can do is if you have it, you turn a profit. So sets that don't get, the key things I want you to take away from this video is where you're investing money. Don't invest in core sets. Don't. Do not. Okay? If you're trying to play the meta, that is fine. That's not the point of this video. If you're trying to play meta, yeah, pick up what you need, your Ash Blossoms and whatnot, and then sell them after you've topped your events and then make your profit back a little bit and you're good. That's fine. That's a different story. But if you're just trying to invest in Yu-Gi-Oh! For money, the old school stuff is where the money's at for the long term. And it's like investing in like putting a savings bond away or investing in stock. It may take, a little bit of time for that card to go up. You may have to hold on to it for a year or so. But I promise you, hand on the Bible, over time, that will go up. It will continue to go up because A, old school card, A, nostalgia, and as time has gone on over and over, we're noticing something starting to build in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which has happened in Magic in the past, where people are going back and buying high rarity old school stuff to play old school formats. I'm one of the guys that does it, I'll admit to it, but it makes you a better player, I say to everybody, which is true. But it happens to a lot of players. Like I've gone back and, brought some old school Dragon Ruler stuff from Dragon Ruler format because sometimes I like playing Dragon Ruler format, or I like going back and playing 2004 Chaos, so I'm slowly been picking up old school hollows from 2004 Chaos. There's a market out there for these old school formats that people like to play in real life. You just got to know it, and you got to pick up the cards and then hold on to them and then turn a profit later on. Old school cards that had purpose back in the day are another good investment as well. like I'm trying to say here, old school cards, original rarities, or the highest rarities of these old school cards are worth money. And if you're like, well, I don't have this money to invest in these cards that are already expensive that will go up even more over time, that's fine. Let me tell you where you invest your money in that case. In that case, what you do is you look at the new sets coming out. So let's take a perfectly good example at the Pegasus set we're getting coming out here soon. The next Duelist Legacy set we're having that's coming at the end of February. We have Pegasus stuff coming out, Crystal Beast stuff, Insect stuff for Weevil, a gambling deck, and we also have Ojama stuff with Armed Dragon, random stuff. Chaz, Princeton. Alright, let's talk about here. What's going to be good out of that set? The Pegasus stuff, first off. Why? Old school guy, nostalgia. A, the Relinquish card is being played in the OCG a little bit. B, on top of that, it's nostalgia. And that set won't get reprinted right away. Any of those cards out of that set will not get printed right away. Konami mainly puts the meta-defining cards and reprints those quickly. But the nostalgic stuff, it takes a lot longer for them to reprint or reprint in general. Like, there's cards out there that are worth $5, $6, $7, $8 that haven't been reprinted in years, and if they ever see meta play, and they're still good cards, like Stick and Chair for Stella Knights, well, not Stella Knights, but Stick and Chair from the World Legacy set, they're worth a couple bucks, but if somebody uses them or tops with them, they're just going to go through the roof because the old school haven't been used and they're still usable. So even in this case, they're nostalgic cards that will go up in time because just like the Baby Dragon, there's a following for Pegasus stuff. And it may not be expensive right away when the set initially drops, but give it a year or so, and that stuff will go up. Look at Ra's Sphere Mode. Look at Ra's Immortal Phoenix. Look at True Name. I could pick up cards of True Name that came out, for bringing out an Egyptian God card for like 25 cents 2 years ago. Now they're like $1 or $2, and they're continually rising a little bit by little by little by little. You see where I'm going here? Old nostalgic stuff sells. I've named off countless things here. So the Pegasus stuff, that will be worth investing because people are going to, even if they don't want to build a deck, they're going to want to collect it. Collectability is another big thing we'll talk about later if you guys want to see another video. The other stuff I think that's going to be important is the Crystal Beast stuff, which I think over time will be the most expensive stuff out of that set. If there's any hollow Crystal Beast stuff out of that set, like the big Rainbow Dragon guy, the Fusion, that will be worth money one day. Because if there's anything I've learned from Crystal Beast players, the Crystal Beast community is gigantic. And they love their Crystal Beast. And even the fandoms, they love Crystal Beast. The old GX fanboys, they love Crystal Beasts. And they'll just want to pick it up for their collection. So it may not happen right away. You may have to wait and sit on it for a year or so. But over time, that stuff will go up. It's proven time and time again. Nostalgic stuff and nostalgic old stuff especially sells in Yu-Gi-Oh! Point blank. So that's my end of my video, guys. So I'm trying to tell you some stuff that would be worth investing in that Pegasus set. I would say the two things, the Relinquish stuff and the Crystal Beast stuff especially. There's a couple other gems that people may play. Like, there's a couple of like good cards out of the last one we had, like the Cyber Dark stuff, the Legendary Ocean stuff from Mako. That was good stuff, but it's not super expensive. It may go up over time, but the big ticket items that I think you'll see a spike in first overall, and that probably won't get reprinted for eons, maybe 3, 4, 5 years later. But by that time, they're already expensive, and you can turn a profit then. Is that Crystal Beast stuff and that Relinquish stuff? I'm just telling you flat out. If you want to invest in something for the future, there's an investment right there for you. I promise you. Give it time. The main series sets will not retain value. They never do anymore with how easy it is to pull hollows out of main sets, the different ratio pulls, and the fact that they reprinted so fastly. Yeah, for meta-defining cards, yeah, they'll be worth money. But in your heart of hearts, that stuff will get reprinted very shortly, within a year. Especially if it's really meta-defining. Always happens. But out of these side sets that are not reprinted often, it may take 2, 3 years before that stuff gets reprinted or more. It just depends. And go back and look through old school hollows. Look at all that old hollow, janky hero stuff that nobody plays anymore, but people just collect. Look at that market. It's ridiculous. That's what I'm trying to say here, guys. There's money in Yu-Gi-Oh! You just got to know where to look and where to invest. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I apologize if it was long and I was rambling. I'm just trying to help you guys out. I don't really invest. I don't make any profit off Yu-Gi-Oh! But I know enough, and I've watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stock markets in my daily newspaper, I guess you could say, of Yu-Gi-Oh! To know where the money is. And you just got to know where it is and invest in it, and you'll make a profit over time. But it takes time. So, till next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. If you'd like to have more videos about me just trying to talk about investing in Yu-Gi-Oh!, please leave a thumbs up down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care, everybody, and good luck dueling to all of you, and good luck making money in Yu-Gi-Oh! Take care, everybody.